Welcome back to the United View. Matheus Cunha to Manchester United. Here we go on 5-year contract with an extra 1-year deal, plus the fee for Manchester United. And Wolves has been agreed £62.5 million in installments. Matheus Cunha has called 1 week ago. Is and will be a Manchester United player. Here we go. Man United, they've signed him. They've signed him. I better not be on mute as well, otherwise I'm gonna go mad. I'm not on mute, am I? I'm not on mute. Happy Monday. We signed a player, Matheus Cunha. Here we go. He is a Man United player. It's early, you know what I'm saying? It's early. Yeah, not your fight. It's early. But yes, Fabrizio Romano has told us Matheus Cunha is a Man United player, and we knew, like as of most signings, as of most transfers these days, we know what's good before it happens. Before it's a done deal, before the clubs announce it, we know this. You know what I'm saying? We know this. So smash a like on the video. Everyone strap in. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Listen, it's still a good way to start off for Monday, even though it was late last night. It's a good way to start the week. You know what I mean? But we're going to get into the finer details of this deal. We're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about the fee, etc., etc. We're going to be talking about Liam Delap as well. What's going on there, because there's some news regarding him breaking in the last few minutes. I want to talk about some of Bruno's comments after the game, and of course everything else in between. So let's do the pleasantries. Let's get everything done. Let's do the roll call. Let me know who's watching, where from, how you guys are feeling. Let's get a certain amount of likes through the door as well, man. Let's do that. Where are we at? We're at 89 likes already with over nearly 600 people watching live. So let's smash that. Let's get 500 likes today as well, because I can see it's going to be a big show. Asif says, you're late. The announcement was last night. Well, guess what? It was really late, bro. And I wasn't going live at 11:30 p.m. after getting back from Manchester United against Villa. Very, very late. I don't know if that fits for you, Asif. I don't know if that's all right. But let me know in the comments if that's okay. Let me just run that by you. Yeah? You can see the sort of mood I'm in today, guys. Yeah? Better watch out. Me not play, you know? Right. Shout out Asif, but listen, don't care, mate. Too tired. We do it in the morning. Simple things, yeah? Should we not talk about it? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, if you're happy the season is done, like up the thing. Even just for that. Just for the season being over and the curtain coming down on this monstrosity of a season. Just for that, make sure you guys smash a like. Shout out Joe Blackman in the chat. Exactly, Joe. You know what I mean? Oh, he's late. It was last night. I know it was last night, bro, but I'm not going live at 12 o'clock. So I'm doing it first thing this morning. Would you want me? Like, all right, I just won't talk about it because it broke just before we went to sleep. No, that's all right for you. If you know and don't want to talk about it, exit. I'm on it today, you know. Listen. Anyway, but we have signed him. It still isn't the shirt reveal. It's not he's had his medical. It's not he signed the thing and he's next to Ruben Amorim at Carrington. It ain't even that, but it's a here we go, and we know what happens when there's here we go. Just to go over it for people who haven't seen it. Someone said in the chat, I woke up to this now. Guess what? There's different people who live around the world who've just seen this news now. Asif. Yeah. Right, let's get to it. Fabrizio Romano. Sorry, actually Ben Jacobs, to be fair. He says Cunha has agreed terms with Man United, and approach to Wolves will follow. Man United are yet to hold formal club-to-club talks over the £62.5 million release clause, but this is expected to change during the week. Cunha contract expected to start on July the 1st rather than June the 1st, which is interesting because Romano kind of says the opposite on his video release of the Here We Go. On X, he says, Matheus Cunha to Manchester United. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place between all parties. Cunha will sign deal until June the 30th with an option to 2031, and Wolves to receive 62.5 million release clause. in installments, formal steps, contracts to be checked next week. But in his video, he kind of said that bit's done already, and he's ready to sign. It's all been agreed, and it's actually been agreed with Wolves. Whereas Ben Jacobs is more saying that there's a few more stuff that needs to be done between the two clubs. So clearly, look, there's a few more little loose ends to tie up. But Matheus Cunha is going to be a Man United player. That is for sure. The interesting bit I want to go and talk about is this 62.5 million release clause, because we were seeing rumors and talks about whether would the release clause, would we have to pay a little bit more? Would we have to pay a little bit more than the release clause to enable us to pay in installments? That was the talking point. Would we have to pay more for Matheus Cunha, slightly more, to be able to pay it in installments, because basically Wolves want their P's now? But that release clause of £62.5 million and not more, but that release clause has been met, and that's what it's going to be with installments. And sometimes I think, I was seeing some reports, or it felt like the understanding was you have to, if it's in a release clause, you've got to pay it all now. And clearly that isn't the way. I mean, and most transfers, S. Madison says installments FC. And listen, we joke about Klarna and we say this and we ain't got no P's, we've got to pay everything in installments. Near enough every transfer is probably I'd say most transfers are paid in installments. They're also paid with add-ons, to come. You get the reports of deals that are worth up to, or deals that are worth in excess of £70 million or 100 million euros or 60, because once you add on the add-ons, it becomes something else. Same like with Rasmus Højlund. Let's be honest, with Rasmus, it was package of 70 or 74, whatever the stupid mark of money was, but the initial fee was 60 something million pounds, and clearly he's probably not going to be hitting the amount of add-ons that will probably be needed, unless there were just things like appearances. I don't know. But usually when clubs get towards that level and it hasn't worked out, you start seeing the player playing less and less because they don't want certain clauses to kick into contracts. So yeah, I'm pleased that, listen, 62.5 million or 65 million with installments. I know it's small potatoes, but let's be straight. We ain't really got money like that, and every penny does count. Every penny does count. So we're paying out, like Jim Ratcliffe did say, we're still paying out for players that we purchased 2-3 years ago because of installments. So every penny does count. So I'm glad that the 62.5 million release clause has been met, and we didn't have to pay over that. You know what I mean? We didn't have to pay over that because it makes sense. Also, what makes sense, again, we have spoke about it quite a bit, but now we got the here we go. We can go into it in a little bit more detail. Is just how good Matheus Cunha actually is, and why this signing makes sense. Now, I do feel, I'm not going to lie, because we're so low and it's been such a shit season, I can't lie. It's like, normally it'll be like, this is what we need. I tell you what, we're going to be cooking next season. Matheus Cunha in this team with Bruno and Ahmad and whichever striker we go and get, you wait, we're going to be cooking. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it, because we're too low. We've had such a shocking season, and our track record of getting excited when we get players in is, do you know what I mean? It's poor. However, I do have to, I've been saying this to myself, there is going to have to be a switch that flicks of, like, when I'm out of the negativity and I start looking forward. I'm probably not exactly there yet. I saw a lot of people on my fan reaction, on my fan view yesterday, Flex's view yesterday after the game, sort of saying, oh, more negativity. But I was very honest. Those of you who saw the those of you that watched the match through when I called in at halftime, and I told you lot what I'm on. Yeah, especially yesterday. I'll be honest. Yesterday was like a venting exercise for me, because, and maybe it's just a personal thing, or maybe, and actually, no, there will be other people who feel like this, but not everyone. I can't speak for everyone. I speak for me. I was still stuck on Wednesday. And how bad they were in that final. And of course, overall, this season, but in particular, that final and what them players did on Wednesday night in Bilbao. Then obviously having to stay over an extra 2 days to come back late on Friday. I drove up there yesterday just being like, when I see these lot, I was a toxic fan yesterday. I can't lie. I cannot lie. Now, listen, my commitment to be there, I was there. I made a 6-hour round trip, actually, probably about 7-8 hours with the bank holiday traffic. I made about 7-8 hours round trip to go and support our team, watch our team yesterday. So no one can say, oh, you're not a real fan, you didn't want them to win, etc., etc. And I hear what you're saying there, Jao. Jao says, let's not turn this into the negative view. I'm not. I'm just saying how I felt. I'm just saying how I felt, yeah? And I'm actually talking about it now, about when my pivot is going to be from moving on from Wednesday, moving on from how bad the season is. The season only just finished yesterday, and we had a game yesterday, and it wasn't even a week ago that Bilbao final was there. So for me, especially going up there yesterday, I was still in that bag, and that was reflected in how I was in the stadium. It was reflected of how I called into the show. It was reflective of my view of that game yesterday. So my point is that now we're getting to here we go, and there is a point where I do have to pivot away from just being negative and leaving it in the past, as Ruben Amorim said. I don't know if I'm quite there yet. So that's what I meant. That was my point of going back to that. This ain't going to be a negative view. It was just me sort of saying to myself and saying to you lot where I'm at. And actually, I want to know where you guys are at, because actually there's different ways of dealing with this grief. With how crap we've been, there's different ways. Shout out Asim says, Flex, finally seeing you being realistic is refreshing. Let's set our expectations accordingly. We have to. First super chat of the day as well. D Witness says, here we go. As soon as the season ends, can really see the intention Ineos are showing this window. Let's hope the rest of it isn't underwhelming. And I hear that, D. I'm going to get onto that. That's true. There is a moment of intent. This is what I'm talking about, the positives, which I'll get to. Yeah, I'm saying, and I want to know from you guys, how are you feeling in terms of, we've all gone through it this year. It's been our worst ever season supporting Man United. Shout out the older fans that are in the chat who'd seen us being relegated in the lifetime and stuff like that. But in my lifetime, in most of our lifetimes watching, it will 100% be the worst we've ever seen this football club fall. And where are you guys at with, like, you're over Wednesday now? You're not over the season, but you've put it to the back. Like Ruben said, it is now officially in the past. We can't change it. Let's get a bit of positivity and let's start celebrating the W's that we get. And this is a W straight away of Matheus Cunha. And actually, I'm going to speak away from the emotion of how angry I was at the criminals for this year. This is good news. Back into the positive thing. Like this is good news. It's good news. The fact that Matheus Cunha is arriving at the club is good, regardless of what has happened during the season. Why is it good? Because if we look at away from, again, I have to caveat it with away from what's happened this year, because we have to talk about how we're going to fix it, right? We have to talk about how we move forward, and trying to move forward. Signing a player like him is a plus. He's Premier League proven, which we haven't bought enough of in recent years, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions. Shout out Bradley. He's big on this, buy from the league. So I totally agree with him there. He's got experience just as a player, but especially in the league. He's performed at a high level, and his attributes, and I'm going to say his mentality as well. People have been put off by his mentality. People have been put off with, some of the things that he done this year. But I've also seen things he's done this year. And if you look hard, not even hard enough, if you remember hard enough and don't just go into the negative, he's done some things off the pitch that, show he's a good person as well. And the Wolves fans have really taken to him. And what we're not seeing, I know it's a completely different set of principles, but you can see how easy it is for a player. Look at Trent, what he's going through. I know he's Liverpool through and through. It comes with a lot of different emotions. But my point is that he's not been shown the door as quickly as possible by Wolves fans. They're clapping him. He's got a good relationship with them, even though there's been some turbulent times. Why? Because Wolves fans, can't speak for all of them, but the general consensus of what I read and what I see online from the Wolves online contingency, maybe if there's some Wolves fans in the chat, you can enlighten me. But my feeling is that they like him. They respect what he's done. He's had 2 and a bit solid seasons there. He's up for being in potentially the team of the season. He might not get it, but he's in the running for it because he's had another solid season, and he's missed a bit of it through suspension, and still put up big numbers. So yeah, you can sort of see the reaction and reception that he's receiving on his way out of Wolves. So his mentality's crap and this, that, and the other. You don't want him in your change room. I don't see that. I don't see it at all, if I'm being honest with you. And I think we need players with balls. We need players with bravery. We need players who do have a little bit of arrogance, and we don't want it. Listen, we don't want it boiling over. We don't want it trickling over to actually from confidence to negative arrogance. You know what I'm saying? You don't. Obviously, there's situations that's gone on with Alejandro Garnacho quite a few times. He's young. You're trying to taper that. You're trying to take that out of his game, and we've struggled to take that out of him. His character early on in his career, he could still change, but right now we've seen multiple sort of mishaps to do with Garnacho's ego. But yeah, I think Matheus Cunha is an important type of person to have in the in this rebuild. He will fight for this badge. You can tell he's that sort of player. He fight for whatever club he's at, you know. And like I said, ability wise, he's strong, he's powerful, he can play between the lines. You know, I know we're not a good measuring stick, but every time we've played against them, he's ruined us. But don't just ask us at 15th in the league. It's against all the top teams. All the top teams, he performs. So I'm saying that goal he scored at Liverpool this year, fantastic, brilliant goal. He scored some top goals. Goal he scored against Bournemouth off the top of my head, wicked goal. So he gets goals, he gets assists, and just very, very quickly to run through the numbers if you're not sure what we're getting overall in his whole time at Wolves. Played 92 games, scored 33 goals and 15 assists. And if we break that down into seasons, this year he got 15 goals and 6 assists. Last year he got 12 goals and 7 assists. And the year before that, obviously, he was only there for a short time in the 22-23 season. So not the best numbers, but yeah. And actually, as a player that we're saying is arriving in his peak, because I've taken a look at his numbers quite a few times, and when he's never been, he's playing the best football of his career now, is what I would say. Well, certainly by the numbers anyway. I'm a bit biased. I didn't watch him week in, week out when he was in the league, or week in, week out when he was in the Bundesliga. I'm not going to profess to have done that. But by looking at the numbers and looking at the player I see now versus the numbers, the trend and sort of conclusion I would make is his best season before that, he was putting up numbers like, well, there you go, 29 games in the Liga, 6 and 6 goals, 6 assists. When he was at Hertha Berlin, what's that? 27 games in the league, 7 goals, 5 assists. Bundesliga, again, Hertha Berlin, season before that, 5 goals, 2 assists. And you remember, because he's 25 now, so this is like 5 years ago. This is within 20. So he's never been a massively high-scoring player. At RB, at Leipzig, same thing. Career, the highest goals he scored was 2 in the league in 25 appearances and 1 assist. But the minutes ain't that high. So he's obviously been a sub a lot when he was younger, when he was like 19, 20. My point is that we're getting him in his prime. We're getting him when he's a senior player and he's ready to take that step. It's in line with what we want. It's in line with what he wants. And he's ready to take that step, is what we're seeing. So I'm pleased with that. I need that. We need that type of player. And that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I want to see players like that here. I want to see players from this league come into Man United. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what we need. Ebenezer, thank you for the contribution. Big up to you. And DJ, big up DJ, my guy, bro. It says top signing. I hope we move smart with buys. 100%. We have to move smart with buys. And on a positive as well, as much as there's so much shit that's happened, and listen, do I trust Ineos wholeheartedly? No. They're going to have to show us a big summer. They're going to have to be creative. If we're being honest, this is one thing we can say about this Matheus Cunha, here we go, is that the day after the season is finished, well, it happened the day of last night. Shout out Asif. It happened last night. It's straight away, innit? Like, this is what we want. And when I think it was D who said at the start, yeah, shout out D, we go back to this. As soon as the season ends, so here we go. That is a sign of intent, you know. Obviously, we've been working on this Matheus Cunha deal for a hot minute now. It's not a secret. This hasn't come out the blue, so we've expected him to sign. But the fact that it's here we go now, before the window's even open, you know, there's people doing business now. We can't compare to Liverpool. We can't compare to Chelsea. We can't compare to the good teams right now. But if we want to close that gap and we mean business and we want to back Ruben and get behind the statements that he's saying, which is, I told you the storm have come. Now I want to tell you better days are coming. Essentially, he didn't say in as many words, but he's saying the storm has essentially passed. You would like to think being this low in the table, 15th, being this low, you would like to think that the storm has passed. You would like to think that. And he's basically telling us, that's what I said then, and this is what I'm saying now. And that's matching up with getting Matheus Cunha in straight away. And let's be honest, in that time as well, Garnacho has been told to find a new club. I don't know how that makes you guys feel. I feel like most people can get behind it, but a lot of people are like, no, this, that, and the third. But he's been told to find a new club. Luke Shaw, there's reports that he's not in the plans. We'll see what that looks like. And obviously, we had 3 significant outgoings. I say significant, but 3 outgoings yesterday to squad players and Johnny Evans. Big up to Johnny Evans as well, by the way. He is a Red. He hates Scousers. Big up to him. But there's movement. Rashford has said goodbye to Villa today, so we know essentially said goodbye. He didn't say the words goodbye, but he's thanking the fans for the time he's been there. He's saying goodbye. So we know what's going to happen there. Chelsea have reached the Champions League. Do they take up the Jadon Sancho option for 25 million? Still don't know, but Sancho will be leaving. Let's see what happens with Anthony. Surely something will happen there in terms of either a loan away with an obligation that they can count some of the money towards, or he secures his move to Betis or somewhere else. So, yeah, man, I feel like he it's a statement of intent from Ineos with that signing. Can't get too excited. Can't get too carried away. We're back. We can't be getting too gassed, because when you finish this low, I expect to see signings. This is, to be fair, the Matheus Cunha signing, let's be real, is more of a relief that it's done in quoted commas, right? And move on to the next. Outgoings, because outgoings are so important. Now, obviously, yes, the transfer window hasn't started yet. I'm not saying why has nobody been gone yet. It's the 26th of May. We haven't even sold a player. It's not that. But what we have to say is, Matheus Cunha, fine, get in, get your kit on, yeah, and get working. He'll be there on pre-season tour. Let's go. Let's keep it moving. Because this team's been so shit. Obviously, Matheus Cunha ain't enough. That's a top signing. Let's keep it stepping. That's what I'm on. Ivor Clip says that last window you guys said you wouldn't mind signing Sterling. This time I'm hearing talks of Jack Grealish. Doesn't seem that bad. Stop clowning. Yeah, listen, we can't be trying to. I agree with that. And look, from the Jamaican perspective, even though he represents England, I'm like, yeah, Sterling, man, just get him on a free. We need a little. Yeah, we have to learn. We need to be getting guys who can come in and do bits. And this Jack Grealish thing, I have seen it a little bit online saying, if Man United would have won the Europa League, he probably would have went to them and this, that, and the third. But I don't see Jack Grealish coming to Man United at all. I don't think he fits the age profile. I don't think he fits where he's at in his career. Yes, he's got a point to prove again at like this side of 30, I think he is. I don't think he's a finished footballer, but also the Man City thing, I can't see it. So I'm with you, Ivor. And Ryan says, is Cunha, Mateta, Shirky realistic and good enough? If we're honest with ourselves, it's realistic. Well, we got Cunha. Shirky's realistic. Why not? He's 25 million. Ryan Shirky, why not? Mateta, the allure of Man United and money, yes, but as a proposition right now, Crystal Palace have won their first trophy ever in their history, and he's part of that. Do you know what I mean? He's a massive part of that, and they're about to be in the Europa League. They got Europa League nights at Selhurst Park, mate. Now, if you're someone like Mateta, do you say, I'm doing this year, I've got to experience this here at Palace, I'll do this 1 year. If you're Eze, do you say, I'm going to do this 1 year? If you're Mark Gahey, he's got a year left on his contract. He was going to move last year, but he created history at Palace. Chelsea need a centre back. Newcastle still need a centre back. What does he do? So there's decisions to make there at Palace, for real. If you're a player there, but I would say Cunha, Mateta, Shirky, is it realistic? Potentially realistic. Is it good enough? If we sign them 3 players, our attack would instantly be better. So I would say that's good enough to make Man United better, along with Ahmad, potentially, as long as we keep Bruno as well. just top options. Obviously, Mason Mount's going to stay. We'll see what he can throw up next year, but that for me is a big upgrade and probably where we're at, which actually leads me on to talking about Liam Delap. Let's talk about Liam Delap. Actually, where are we at likes wise? Let's keep pushing on this. Let me get rid of super chat. Big up to you, Ryan. And you got Champions League, Chelsea fan, Ryan. There you go. You did it. Was going to say congratulations, but I don't really feel like it's congratulations to you lot. You lot spent like 1 billion pounds or whatever, but you did it. You did it. So fair play to you. Right. Yeah, likes. Where are we at? Where are we at? 324 guys. We've got nearly 1,800 people watching. Push up uno likes. Yeah. Really, guys. Let's have it right. We need a like for the season being over. It's like me saying you can drop multiple likes. You can't. You can only drop one. But I'm just giving you the reasons of why you should be liking this video. The season is done. We don't have to watch Man United anymore. Although they're flying out to Kuala Lumpur, we'll watch them games just for fun. Season's done. We got a here we go. We got a here we go this morning, last night. Matheus Cunha, first signing. Yeah. We didn't finish 17th. Yeah. We didn't finish 17th. Fourth reason, we got over 40 points. Yeah. Fifth reason, won a game yesterday. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like all the league says, this should be really, with nearly 1,800 people watching, this should be a 1K, guys. This should be a 1K likes thing. You know what I'm saying? Ryan, chill. Ryan, chill. Ryan says, don't congratulate Gyökeres dunking on you next year. Listen, man. If Chelsea get Gyökeres, listen. Shit, because Chelsea are going to have good money now as well, isn't it? Imagine Chelsea got Gyökeres. I know I just see Arsenal supposed to go forward with Sesko and Gyökeres talks. Arsenal obviously going to get a big boy striker. It's just who it is. Is it Sesko? Is it Gyökeres? Is it, I don't know, Osimhen? Is it, I don't know. But they're going to get a big boy striker. I don't think he'll be a sack. They've got the Champions League as well. Shahil says, I've done some research into Ruben and how he cleared his last squad at Sporting. He cleared 17 men and promoted academy players. Hope he gets support. Yes, obviously that is the the piece of information that is going around so prominently, that he had major surgery on that squad. Obviously, he couldn't replace all 17 players by buying 17 new players, but he did a mixture of both and promoted youth. So yeah, we just need him to get the support. He's no stranger to making big changes. So yeah, but yes, I mean, you know what? I'm just going to set the bar at 1K. Nothing is out of this realm. Yeah, why not? Let's set the bar to 1K likes. Let's keep pushing. Forget 500 and all that. Let's keep pushing. And like up and share the video. Let people know we're watching, because we're over 8. We're going to get to over 1,800 people watching, I'm sure, which is, we could push 2K. We could push 2K watching live, which there's no reason why we can't get 1K likes, people. There's no reason. Right, there's a lot going on this morning. There's different pieces of information coming through from different journalists, but let's just talk about Liam Delap right now. The last sort of 20 minutes or so. Ben Jacob says Liam Delap is expected to decide his future this week and remains Man United's top choice. So he's our top choice, not Gyökeres, not Osimhen, especially now we didn't get in the Champions League. So it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed anything. But he's still our top choice. He wants guarantees of minutes to boost his chance for the 26 World Cup selection. And listen, if he comes to us, we can guarantee you minutes. You're playing every single game, mate. You're playing over Rasmus Højlund. European football was viewed as important. United feel their pitch was strong and that Delap is keen on a return to the Northwest. So what we're saying is that, okay, the allure of European football, which was viewed as important by Liam Delap, we feel we got an upper edge because he wants to come back to that part, that neck of the woods. That's where he's from. Do you know what I'm saying? That's where he's from. Obviously coming out of City's academy as well. And yeah, like it's the same thing here. Liam Delap wants guarantees of minutes to boost his chances. European football was viewed as important, but Man United still feel their pitch was strong and that Delap is keen on a return to the Northwest, as Ben Jacobs says. He's expected to decide his future this week before the under-21 Euros. He remains Man United's top choice. So that's interesting as well, of when he wants to make the decision. He says suitors expect to hear Liam Delap's decision imminently, with all prepared to pay the 30 million release clause. So there you go, guys. Liam Delap is a very, very serious option. Very serious option. And also we're getting some sort of reassurances from Ben Jacobs that essentially that he wants to return to that neck of the woods. Man United definitely still a top target, and it's not the deal breaker we thought in terms of what happens with not getting in the Champions League. And Liam Delap, listen, I've said this many times about him. I've said this many times. In terms of a market opportunity, this is weird, isn't it? It's about right time, right fit, etc., etc. In terms of this climate, it's a market opportunity to get somebody, a young up and coming English striker, who you say Premier League proven. He's had a good season in the Prem in his first season. I don't think we can say Premier League proven. I think one good season in the Prem is not enough to say guaranteed Premier League proven, but it's a good body of work in a team that got relegated. 100%. I'm not taking that away from him in his first senior season at this level as well. Not playing football, but at this level. So I would say that. And also at 30 million, it's a very good price. It's almost a bargain in this climate of strikers. It is. Someone who knows where the back of the net is that we've seen in one season, but he's proved he knows where the back of the net is. He's a handful. He can look after the ball well, and he can look after himself well. So for 30 million as a market opportunity, it's a good price, and that would be good business. And like AP7 said, it's low risk. So even if it doesn't quite work out and he's a fish out of water, or duck out of water, what they say, it's low risk. It's like the Xerxes thing, bought him for 35 million. If it's not really working out, we need to be smarter with what we're doing. Not like the Rasmus Højlund thing where we bought man for 64 plus add-ons, total package 70 something million, and he's way off it, way off it. So in terms of that, I don't mind. And also, I don't have this arrogance and this sort of yes, fish out of water. It's not duck out of water, is it? That one's going to reach Owen. This one's going to reach Owen. But I said fish out of water first, and I was like, I don't say duck out of water, is it? Because actually, you see, no, I saw bear ducks. Did you not see my story on my Instagram story? I was walking in the street and I see bear ducks. They were lost trying to get back to the river, to the water, or wherever their yard is. Bare little ducklings led by the mum or the dad. So actually, ducks out of water is very common. Obviously, fish out of water can't breathe. So yeah, all right, cool. We got that one covered. But yeah, what worries me, it's water off a duck's back. What worries me is the age and the pressure of getting another young player to lead the line, albeit better than Højlund. I think we can all agree he's better than Rasmus Højlund. But having a 22-year-old again to lead the line with that much pressure and not much help, that worries me. That worries me. I want somebody to lead the line game in, game out. At this stage, I would prefer somebody more experienced. And of course, Skoda, I would much rather get Osimhen. But I think we also have to weigh up what's realistic and what aisles we're shopping in. What aisles are we shopping in now in the supermarket? Do you know what I mean? We're basically in the aisle, not necessarily with Matheus Cunha, because we do have a bit of money. But at some points, we're going to be in the aisle that at the end of that aisle, you got the food and the products with the yellow stickers on saying reduced to clear. Like, we're in the reduced to clear aisle. You know what I mean? We're probably going to be able to buy these two players up front. Then after this, it's all about the player sales because we didn't get the Champions League money in. Do you know what I mean? Would we have about 200 regardless? Maybe. We usually tend to. And you look at sales, but we got to get really creative with sales. So we have to be realistic of the aisle we're in, and we have to be realistic of where we are as a football club and what we're offering. The allure of this, yeah, the allure of our badge, our crest, yeah. Let's be honest, it's not the same. Do we still have pulling power? Yes, of course. We will always have pulling power because it is Man United. I stand by that. But we also have to be realistic with ourselves. It's not what it once was. There's the reason why this is even a discussion, we're trying to get a player from Ipswich Town. This player from Ipswich Town, who have been relegated, by the way, has other options. This should have been wrapped up ages ago if this was the Man United of old. Do you know what I'm saying? It is. It is. You know, Flex lowering standards year on year, backing Amrim and praising Delap. Never forget this guy. Back Eric Ten Hag also. We're mudded, says MM. Well, what do you mean? Yes, I did back Eric Ten Hag when he first came here, and I held my hands up stupidly actually after he won the FA Cup. Still want him to stay, but bro, back in the matter. What are you saying then? Sell everyone? Do you know what I'm saying? Also, we have to understand the standards where we're at. You talk about lowering the standards, bro. The standards have been lowered by this shit team that just finished 15th, bro. What are you talking about lowering the standards? Lowering the standards happened when the Glazers let the club rot beyond decay, beyond repair, bro. That's what lowering the standards have been. Lowering the standards has been the shit recruitment that has brought in crap players that we can't sell. That's lowering the standards. The standards have already been lowered. So now we have to understand, in order to get out of it as fans, we have to understand where we are. We're not good enough. What my point is we're not good enough right now to be turning our noses up at players at Palace, players at Ipswich, players from Wolves, and saying, nah, we're Man United. We don't sign them type of players. Because good luck, trying to go and get Victor Gyökeres. Good luck trying to go and get Victor Osimhen. Good luck trying to convince Florian Wirtz that he should come here instead of Liverpool because we're Man United and we have high standards. What are you talking about? And this is exactly what I mean, right? About being realistic with our standards versus having none. Some people mistake understanding our new standards and how it is to get out of the pits of hell than where we need to be. Do you know what I'm saying? Cunha and Eze are not Delap. I hear that. Of course they're not. But what I'm saying is Delap has shown something whereby we're so crap. You can't turn your nose up at 30 million for him. You can. That's up to you, but I won't. I'm not going to sit here after watching Rasmus Højlund throw that up and be like, nah, wouldn't have Liam Delap for 30 million. Bearing in mind, we didn't get the Champions League money, so we're 100 M short. Do you know what I'm saying? Chris, Flex, so because we finished 15th, we have to go for shit players, even if we can get good players. Has Gyökeres refused to come to United? I'm not saying that. Guys, Chris, I can't believe I have to spell this out. I just don't even understand why this happens. I'm not saying that Delap is better than Gyökeres. I literally just said he's a good market opportunity for £30 million and he's low risk. However, I want a more experienced striker. That's what I said. Why are you listening to, why are you hearing what I'm saying and just coming up with something completely different, Chris? I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't understand how I'm not coming across. Is it too early or something? I've said so many times, I want a more experienced striker. That is what I want. I also understand that we are in a position, which I don't think some people understand. We are in a position where financially we are effed. We are. That's it. So I understand, and I'm not naive enough to think that we're going to be able, right, to get these top players. Strikers come at a premium. You know this, Chris. You should know this. So I don't know. Can we get another 62.5 million to get Gyökeres? I don't know. Maybe we can. But also, Chris, yeah, does Victor Gyökeres want to come to this football club? Maybe he does because of Amorim and he doesn't care about European football. But guess what? There's a big chance he might not, because I'm being realistic. He may prefer to go to Arsenal because they're challenging for the league and Champions League. They're in it. They're a better team than us. He may prefer to go to Liverpool. I'm not saying it's impossible to get him. You never know what the transfer window can throw up. But we have to be realistic. And what is realistic is understanding that Liam Delap could be a Manchester United player. He's at the top of our list. Whether you rate him or you don't rate him, whether you think he's better than Højlund or not, the reality is he is a top target who, according to Ben Jacobs and other credible sources, could be leaning towards coming towards us, coming back up to this neck of the woods in Manchester. So it is a real legitimate and intangible thing. Look at Mateta. And Chris, I want to ask, would you have Mateta? If you wouldn't, why? Is it because we're Man United, we shouldn't be signing players from Palace? Would you have Jean-Philippe Mateta? I want to know yes or no. I want to know yes or no from you two specifically. who it's such a disgrace of getting Delap, would you take Mateta? Yes or no? That's all I want to know. Flex, I would go from Boomo, said Chris. Absolutely. He's not a number 9, but absolutely. He plays on the right, plays in the right 10. We could make him play in the right 10, plays on the right wing. Absolutely. I agree. Delap is better than Hoyland, but not by much. Hear that? Mateta will be in Europe. Exactly. Of course he will. Mateta is clear. Fair play. Right. So Mateta is clear. But if you look at the impact of what the players have, right? Delap scored like what, 12 goals this year? I think Mateta scored. How much? I think Mateta's probably scored more than him as well, actually. But Delap this season has scored. Yeah, he scored 12. He scored 12 for the team that got relegated. Mateta. Let's see how many goals did he get this year. Mateta scored 14 goals. He scored 14 goals. So, I test all of that. I'm 100%. And Mateta is what? 27. Liam Delap is 22. So, okay, he takes penalties now. Do you know what, MM? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Come on. Delap looks after the ball well as well. I would have Mateta above him. I would. But what you're trying to do, bro, is act like Delap's just a bum who can't do nothing, and he's the same as Hoyland. He's not. He scored 2 less goals than the guy that you want. Make that make sense. Do you know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any. That doesn't. Do you know what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense. Yes, he's done it for one more year. Wrap up heaven. It's true. But last time I checked, you had to score a penalty, bro. Like you had to score it. Do you know what I'm saying? You had to score it. I don't know. But anyway, back to my point. Liam Delap, like I said, it's a good market opportunity. If anything, I would prefer to have a Liam Delap around a more experienced striker, a better striker, one who knows his way around a lot more. But I understand that might not be possible with the money we've got. So we'll have to wait and see. Let's see how much we can get for Rasmus Højlund, because surely he'll be sold. Ginger Bish says, all this chat about Cunha having attitude problems is laughable. If he signed for any other team, nothing would be mentioned about it. Glory, glory, Man United. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. Andy H says, even though 24-25 has been United's worst season, it's been UV's best. Keep up all the awesome work, Flex and co. Can't wait to see what you have planned. Thank you, Andy. And you know what? In a weird way, it has. Well, in terms of winning that award, which I'm not going to pick out right now, it's too heavy. The SJA, we won a sports journalism award. So that you're right, as on a personal for the channel is massive. That's been our biggest achievement we've ever had. Is that our only award we've ever won? Our only achievement. We've been nominated for football content awards before and stuff, but yeah, winning SJA far supersedes anything we've done. It's our first award. And for it to be a nationally recognized award is just crazy. So yeah, can't forget that. So very, very humble. Very pleased about that. And yeah, we in all the chaos and all the emotion, we have had a lot of fun at the same time. With everybody who's been on the channel and contributed to the channel. So you're right, Andy. I really appreciate that, bro. Didn't even think of it like that. Thanks for that reminder. Ryan says the lap 30 million should be in addition to another striker. I hear that, Ryan, and that's what I'm saying. That's even before I got to your super chat. I hadn't even seen that. That's what I'm saying. Ideally, someone like that, market opportunity, 30 million, like you want to get him in addition to somebody else. But I don't. Maybe that could happen. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm not sure. Ginger said we are shopping in quick save, no Waitrose. And Ryan says crackheads in the chat thinking Gyökeres would go United. And Lil Yo says the scholars are having a field day being picky over number 9s. Let's just get players that make sense. Thank goodness the season is done. I hear you. I absolutely hear you about that, Lil Yo-Yo. But yeah, the latest, Liam Delap, like I said, that is the latest on him. That he is going to make his decision before the Euros under 21s, before he leaves for that. And yeah, he could favour a move back up to United, back up to Manchester. There you go. Ooh. Understand Man City have asked for deal conditions for Ryan Ain't Nuri at Wolves. He's high on the list for left back. Why? I would have loved him, man. I would have loved him. He would have been good. This is interesting. Well, it's not interesting. It's just facts, and we know this already. But before I get into the next bit, where are we at with the likes? 567. We've got over 1,800 people watching. 750. I'm still saying 1K, but let's just be realistic. 750 people. Come on. Like up the thing. Get involved and let us know. This show is absolutely flown by as well. Wow, it's 10 to 10 already. And I still got quite a bit to talk about. Samuel Luckhurst, Man United will consider offers for any player this summer. Players under contract have been informed that none of them are absolutely assured of remaining at the club next season. And obviously, goes without saying. And this is where I'm not naive. Anyone can get it. And that's from, you know, if Marcus Rashford is leaving this football club, anyone can leave. You know? What's the Plettenberg update? Just quickly, I've seen someone put that there. Has he actually said something, or is it more of the same? Who is it about? Florian Wirtz at the top. There you go. Understand that a move for Victor Gyökeres to Man United is now almost off the table. It is currently not the player's objective either. Instead, Man United are now signing Matheus Cunha. Well, listen, Plettenberg is not the god of football transfers, so things can change in football transfers. But there you go, MM. Yeah, there you go, MM. Maybe it's not currently the player's objective. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's currently off the table. Literally what we were just talking about. Oh, surprise. Victor Gyökeres has seen Man United in 15th with no Champions League football and doesn't want to come here. This is what I'm talking about. Be realistic. Oh, but don't talk about Delap. Don't talk about Liam Delap. Don't be realistic with where we actually are. Talk about Gyökeres. Talk about Victor Osimhen. Wake up. Wake up. I'm so glad that news has just broke, you know. Seriously, man. Because sometimes we move like Wallies. We move like idiots. Here I am talking about Liam Delap because that's a sensible thing to do, because that's what is actually realistic. And then you got pushback, trying to lower the expectations and tell us we should accept Delap. All right, then we'll keep accepting Gyökeres. Keep trying to get him. Go on then. Keep trying to get him. See where that gets you. Blasted stupid. See where that gets you. You know what I'm saying? Be realistic, bro. Right now, live on the stream. Big news. Man don't want to come. And really, it's not even I told you so or I hold that. It's wake up and smell the coffee and stop being silly. That's what it is. That's what it is, because this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about, yeah? This is what I'm talking about. You can't not be in a place where you understand just how shit we are and where we are. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. And I know people are talking about the rage bait and stuff, yeah, and getting baited, yeah. Maybe it is a little bit of that, but actually, you know what? It is actually still important to say this, because I'm actually trying to like bring down expectations to a realistic place. Because I think there are still people who think we can go and get like some of these top players, or we can have a summer of, like I said, the badge is enough. For some players, it is. Like I said, we got Matheus Cunha, you know, because, you know, he really wants to come here. That's not going to be the case for a lot of other players, guys. It's not. It's not. You know what I mean? Victor Gyökeres has won trophies now. Do you know what I mean? He's in the peak of his powers. He's a striker, a very sought-after striker. He doesn't want to spend time out of the Champions League. Matheus Cunha, if he rejected Man United, could have easily played in the Champions League. But his decision for his career was that he wanted to play for us. But us thinking we can get Osimhen on 300 bags a week and all of that stuff of what he's going to cost is not going to happen. It's just not. Like Joe Blackman says, exactly. Get used to shopping. Where is that? Get used to shopping at Iceland, man. Get used to it. Nothing wrong with shopping there, by the way, if you have to. People, we need to shop. But what my point is, that's exactly my point. To survive and to get by, we have to shop in these different aisles. It's what we have to do. If you don't like it, put your head under a rock and just be quiet. But us out here looking at where we really are, we have to set realistic expectations of where we are. If something mad happens and we have progression beyond belief next year and finish comfortably in the top four with good football and good players and scoring goals, great. But right now, in terms of the types of players that we should be looking at or can afford, we have to be realistic. It's as simple as that. Suli says, we would defo not risk having no goals next year. Yeah, exactly. It's surely, there's going to be big changes. I do think that. I think this summer is going to be massive and they're going to be aggressive. Otherwise, Ruben, I can't see it being as bad as this and them guys not, putting it in and changing things. JD United View Day One says, what's up, Flex? I know it's a hard question to answer, but what other targets are we looking at? Because we need more. Ahmad, Yoro, and Kobe need to stay. Well, I say what targets we're looking at. I'm not going to be profess to be in the know, bro. I always state that I don't have contacts like that. Someone might message me from inside somewhere and say, listen, I've heard this, but I'm not that guy. I don't come on here and say, listen, I heard this, I heard that. Tell you now, we're getting this. That's just not me. But what I think we should be looking at, obviously, we've just spoken about striker for ages, and we've spoken about Matheus Cunha. Attack has to be addressed. I need three new attackers, if I'm honest. Striker, left 10, right 10, just as options. Ahmad, obviously you keep him. He can play between right wing back and right 10. Bruno, I would like to keep him. He's another 10. And Kobe Mainoo, I'd like to keep him. So that's just better options. And obviously he's still got Xerxes. So I need strike. If I can get two strikers, if I can get two strikers, I'd be over the moon. You sell Højlund and get two strikers. But I don't think I think that's less likely. I think because Xerxes can play up front a bit as well, I think we get one striker and go from there. I need a central midfielder. I need a proper central midfielder. One that can take the ball under pressure, one that can progress the ball very well, neat and tidy on the ball, and is physical. Because also we need athletes in this team. As much as we say you can't just have 11 men, just passion merchants running, passion, desire and all that. We need athletes. We're too soft. We're too light. We're not physical enough. We're not robust enough in that middle of the park. So I need a central midfielder, a proper central midfielder. Like I said, who is combative, who can win duels, who isn't typecast, who isn't just pigeonholed into one thing. So Ugarte is just good at one thing for me. One thing, and that's recovering the ball and being nasty, kicking people. He can play a little bit when he's got a bit of space and time, but for me, it's given squad player. I'm not going to lie, or it's given, should I say, if we get it right. I'm not going to write him off. If we get it right in terms of getting a proper central midfielder who can pretty much do everything next to him, Ugarte can play there. But right now, the balance with him and Bruno, or the balance of him and Casemiro, who's had a resurgence toward the end of the season, it's not it. Not good enough on the ball, Ugarte, for me. Not good enough. So that's what I need in these central midfielders. I think defensively, look, because we have to be realistic about what we're going to get and how much money we've got, it's interesting to see. We've got Diego Leon coming in. Is he just going to be a kid who goes out on loan again and he comes a preseason tour, they think he's not ready, goes back out on loan? Or does he get time in the playing squad? I don't know. What happens with Harry Amas? I don't know. I would like, if I could, I would like a wing back. I saw the 8 Nuri news just then, Man City. I mean, look, again, probably living in dreamland of trying to get players like that, but he's got a year left. I would love to go and get Ryan 8 Nuri, but or someone like that, left or right wing back. I would like to invest in, but I think that's going to be beyond us this season. Centre backs, I think would we need one? You've got Lindelof and Evans leaving, so you're 2 centre backs down. Martinez has had big injury problems, but we have brought in Aiden Heaven. You got Yoro. Maguire would stay probably an extra year, his last year. You would think. Maybe not, but everyone's got a price. So we could need another centre-half. I'm down for it. Listen, I'll definitely take another centre-half. You've got Delap as well. I would definitely have another centre-half, but I don't know if we're going to be able to afford it. Goalkeeper. Definitely want that as well. Definitely. Way up there, probably straight after striker. We have to get another goalkeeper. And Onana, again, didn't play yesterday. Report saying that he's been told he can move on as well. So we'll watch that space. But definitely want another goalkeeper. I should have even started with that. We need a goalkeeper so bad. So yeah, we need a lot. WJ Barrett says, good to see you yesterday, Flex. Elvis loves meeting his hero, Flex. Big up to you, man, and big up to Elvis, and big up to the family. We have to lock in with the transfers this summer. I'm optimistic. Let's do this. Glory, United view. 100%. WJ Barrett, bro. Very good to see you. It's always good to see you. You've been a member for 35 months as well. That's mad support, mad love, bro. Really appreciate that. Christopher said, let's be real. Gyökeres was never coming. Try telling that to MM. Ginger Bliss says, unrealistic expectations make you delusional. Exactly. And Eminem says, not going to lie. Happy we're not getting Gyökeres. All-round game poor, in my opinion. Scores a lot in Portugal, but if the team can't create, his attributes won't help us. I don't know. I don't know. I think if you build the right, correct team and you do supply for him, which is what you meant to do for your striker, he's devastating. If he goes to Arsenal, where they do create a lot of chances, obviously he'll be fantastic. I get what you're saying, Eminem, in terms of we don't the attributes might not help us because we don't create enough, but we're trying to change that this summer. The aim is to change that and have top players. So I definitely wouldn't have been mad if he came here. I'm not glad we're not getting him because it shows how shit we are and we can't be in for a player of that quality. But yeah, I take your point. WJ Barrett says Delap is our best bet right now. Forget everything else. We need to look at Mateta and Mbumo. And if we get these, man, we will massively improve 100%. If we could get, listen, I'll take Mateta 100%. Mbumo, man, Mbumo. They got to sell him this year. He's got a year left. 50 million. 50 million. Or a Shirky who's younger. 25 million. Wouldn't mind him either. Wouldn't mind him, to be fair. But I need another top-level attacker. I need another one. I really hope. What I want to start seeing now is the links for another attacker. We know about the striker, but another attacker and the goalkeeper. That's what I need. And actually central midfield. We need so much. We need so much. James says the mission is simple. Sell the prima donnas and get players to steady the ship. Then we can use future windows to add saucy names. I hear that. Shout out James Clough. I hear that. I hear that. This is what I'm saying about we need to get players, who can steady the ship. I agree with that. That's why buying from within the Prem, if we can, massively helps. Black Sheep says the pea stolen from Glazers. We look in food banks. Yeah. WJ Barrett says Delap, Cunha, Mbumo, and Mateta and Ruben Coach. That would definitely make us better as well. But yes, everyone's got their price. Victor Gyökeres is now almost off the table. We know that he's not in our plans. We can't afford him. So there you go. That's the ending. And Liam Delap is prime target. So there you go, guys. Big stream. Where did we get to? Big show this morning. We got to 656 likes. Would have liked to have gotten to 750. Do smash a like on the way out if you haven't done so already, man. What we got later on? Red carpet later on as well. So yeah, big up to each and every single one of you. I'm out of here, man. Smash a like on the way out. Big show. Big love to all of you. Peace.